My name is Renee Nelson. I'm 32, and I can tell you the exact second my life split in two before the text and after it. It wasn't a fight, not a scream, just a vibration on my desk that felt too loud for how small it was. 2 lines. I need a new car. Can you Cosign? No hello, no please. Just need an expectation. I remember laughing, a dry, small sound that died in my tiny office above a freight company lot. But the laugh wasn't amusement, it was defense. My sister Hannah 20-8, beautiful when it suited her, reckless always drifted through jobs like bad Wi-Fi and set money on fire like it owed her something. In our family, pain was currency and Hannah was rich. She cried better than anyone, and that made her untouchable. So I typed back, keep dreaming. Simple, final, or so I thought. Her reply hit like a slap through glass. Don't you dare refuse, you're cut off from family events. They landed like a lifetime condensed into 4 words. And something cracked inside me. Because that wasn't just a text, it was every unspoken rule we lived under. I'd always been the responsible one, the quiet prop holding up everyone else's chaos. When bills were late, I paid them. When tempers flared, I fixed it. Every holiday, another invoice for my patience. But every prop collapses under too much weight. That Thursday morning, mine finally did. I stood in my kitchen, sunlight creeping across the counter, and called the bank. One simple request: close the family credit line. The voice on the other end said cheerfully, you can terminate it immediately if you wish. Wish. As if freedom were a wish and not a decision paid for in guilt. When I clicked confirm, I felt tiny and limitless at once, like shutting a window on a decade-long storm. By morning, my phone lit with 36 missed calls: Hannah, mom, dad, cousins, even an aunt who thought someone had died. I let it ring out. Silence can taste like victory and fear at the same time. Ethan texted my boyfriend, my steady quiet, you okay? You sound windless. I lied. I'm fine. Because the truth was bigger than words. The truth was that I was about to burn the old script I'd been forced to live in. Ethan came that evening. He doesn't fix with talk, he fixes with calm. He folded papers, poured coffee, and said, you're not alone in this. We went through passwords, accounts, every invisible string that tethered me to that family. He clicked. I signed. Somewhere between signatures, the air turned lighter. But you can't clean chaos without stirring dust. The past rose like smoke. Christmas 3 years ago, Hannah drunk, red wine swirling, her laughter too sharp. You think you're better than us, she'd said. Then she threw her wine in my face. I remember the smell of cinnamon, my mother's gasp, my father's warning eyes. I walked into the kitchen, grabbed scissors, came back, and cut 6 inches of Hannah's hair. The sound of snipping silenced the room. They kicked me out that night, called me cruel, forgot who threw first. That was the night I stopped pretending peace was possible. Back in the present, I opened my laptop and looked at the Camry, the one Hannah begged to borrow, wrecked, and left in my parents' driveway like proof of my stupidity. She never knew I hadn't transferred the title. I called the tow company. Blue Camry, front of 24 Maple Street. Pick up today. When the truck rolled away, the chains rattled like punctuation. I took a photo and texted her. It's back in my garage. 12 missed calls followed. Then a message. You're destroying this family. I'd heard that line all my life. Only now did I realize I wasn't destroying anything, I was refusing to rebuild what they burned. Within an hour, the family group chat erupted. Mom, Renee, we need to talk ASAP. Dad, you went too far. I didn't argue. I just tapped exit group. The quiet that followed wasn't peace, it was power. The days after tasted like aftermath. Aunt called saying, your mother's upset, Hannah's inconsolable. Translation: Hannah was performing grief for attention. I hung up. Jake, my cousin, texted, she's saying you stole the car. Of course she was. When tantrums failed, she rewrote the story. Then Mom's voicemail. Be the bigger person. That phrase was a leash around my neck. I deleted it. 2 days later, an envelope appeared in my mailbox, no stamp, just my name. Inside a letter. Hannah's handwriting, but addressed to our parents. Don't worry, Mom and Dad. Renee always caves. She acts tough, but she's desperate to be liked. All I have to do is wait her out. At the bottom, another line in Jake's hand. You didn't get this from me. I write it again and again. It wasn't rage I felt, it was clarity. I folded the letter, placed it in a drawer beside spare batteries. Not to hide it, to keep it as evidence. But rumors travel faster than letters. Soon, co-workers whispered. Hannah said I'd emotionally abused her. That I cut her off to control her. I didn't defend myself. People who believe gossip don't want truth. They want a show, so I stopped performing. I let the lies breathe until they ran out of oxygen. Uncle Dennis called, whispering from his garage. She's gotten worse. You did what you had to. Then Aunt Valerie messaged. She caused a scene at a party. I told her she's too old to keep blaming everyone else. The family was cracking. I should have felt vindicated. I only felt sad. Because this wasn't a triumph, it was confirmation that the love I'd been fighting to save had already rotted. That night, I sat on the bed holding the letter again. Ethan asked, You're not going to use it, are you? I said, Not yet. But one day, they'll hear her words, not mine. He nodded. Then make sure it's on your terms. That idea settled in me like a seed. The Camry still sat in my garage, a relic of guilt. I sold it, clean and quick. Before I left, I took a picture of the tow truck hauling it away and texted her. Sold. Don't worry, you won't have to be embarrassed by my car anymore. No reply. Just silence. Then Jake sent a screenshot of her Instagram. Hannah at the beach. Hair freshly cut, captioned, It always grows back stronger, just like me. I almost laughed. That hair had become her symbol, her redemption arc. But I didn't chase the story. I let it unfold on its own. Then one night, the security camera pinged. Motion detected. I opened the feed. A man on my porch, not Hannah, my father. He lifted the fake rock under the steps, the one with the spare key, and pocketed it. I watched him do it twice before I could move. By morning, every lock was replaced, every code reset, every pass updated. This time, I wasn't protecting myself from strangers. I was protecting myself from blood. He came back later, left a note under the mat. I don't want to be in the middle, but she's still your sister. I folded it, set it aside. That was my father in 12 words. Avoid the truth, appease the loudest voice, call it love. I texted the family group. No one is to enter my property. If you have a key, it's useless now. This is not a discussion. Jake replied instantly. Finally. Uncle Dennis sent a thumbs up. Only my grandmother replied. I don't understand everything, but I trust you. That one made me cry. Days later, Ethan found me on the porch. Looks like you won, he said. I shook my head. No, I just stopped losing. He smiled. Same thing sometimes. Behind us, the new locks glinted in the sun. Inside, the letter sat quietly, no longer evidence, just history. But peace never stays untested. One night, my phone buzzed again. You think you won, but the story's not over. No name, but I didn't need one. Hannah's drama always needed sequels. I stared at the text, almost amused. That was her flaw. She never understood that survival isn't winning, it's choosing not to play. I muted the number and turned the phone face down. Sleep came slow, but it came clean. Morning light spread across the table. Coffee steam curled. Ethan held my phone. It's been blowing up, he said. You want to see? I shook my head. If it's important, it'll find me another way. He smiled and sat with me in silence, fingers brushing mine. That was enough. Weeks passed, no calls, no chaos. Just the hum of peace. Then Jake called. She bought a car, he said. Named it Karma. I laughed, really laughed. The closest she'd ever come to self-awareness. She posted, "Sometimes you lose the car but find yourself." I said, "Let her have the last word. I'm done writing chapters about her." That night, I read her letter one last time. The words still ached, but like an old scar before rain, proof of healing, not hurt. I tucked it into the cabinet with my taxes and house deed. Evidence, but also history. I looked out at the city lights and thought about how closure isn't given, is built. Ethan wrapped his arms around me. "You okay?" "Better than okay," I said. "Just free." A week later, another message came. "You'll regret cutting us out." Family always finds its way back. I deleted it without opening. Some stories don't need replies. The next morning, I drove to Maple Lake. No music, no destination, just road and air. The water was still, sky mirrored on its surface. I stood by the edge and whispered to the girl I used to be, "You did your best. You can rest now." The wind carried it away. Driving home, the house looked smaller. Maybe because I finally took up space in my own life. Inside, everything was still. No ghosts, no guilt. Just doors that locked softly, without shame. Later that month, another envelope came. A photo, Hannah and me as kids. On the back, "We were happy once. Don't pretend you forgot." I looked at it and saw it clearly for the first time. That wasn't happiness. That was compliance. I left it on the counter, untouched. Not every memory needs to be destroyed. Some just need to be left behind. That night, I texted one last message. "I'm not angry. I'm done. Please don't contact me again. If there's an emergency, reach Ethan. Otherwise, I wish you peace." She replied, "You'll regret this one day." I smiled. Regret is for people still waiting for permission. The next morning, I changed the last thing, the lock on my front door. Not for fear, for closure. Each screw turned like a sentence ending. When it clicked into place, the metal shone new, unblemished. Ethan looked at me. "You finally replaced it." "Yeah," I said. "The last one." When he left for work, I stood by the door, palm on the cool brass. "This time," I whispered, "it locks from my side, outside." The leaves brushed the window like soft applause from the universe. Inside, I smiled. The story was never about what I lost. It was about what I finally kept.